Okay, let's do an example. Graph and find the vertex and axis of symmetry for the quadratic x equals 2 times the quantity y plus 3 squared minus 1. So the first thing we do is we take the y plus 3, the stuff inside the parentheses, and set it equal to 0 and solve. And when we do that, we get y, and write this down so that you don't get the y's and x's backwards. Okay, that's the most common mistake here. So write down y plus 3 equals 0, y equals negative 3. Not x equals negative 3, y equals negative 3. That means that my graph from the basic function x equals y squared, my graph has been shifted down 3. And then the minus 1 at the end of the equation says it's been shifted left by 1. It's in the x direction. That's kind of backwards from the way we did these before, as we're reversing the x's and y's. Okay, so my vertex is going to be, the vertex of x equals y squared is at the origin, and my new vertex will be at x is negative 1, y is negative 3, so it's negative 1, negative 3. And then there's an expansion. This is in the horizontal direction. It's in the y direction by a factor of 2. So you go over 1, that is, which is actually up 1, and to the right by 2. It's to the right because 2 is positive. So you go up 1 to the right by 2, down 1 to the right by 2. That gives you 2 other points on the parabola, and you draw on your parabola. And the axis of symmetry will be that equation that we found here, y equals negative 3. You wrote it down so you're not accidentally going to put x equals negative 3 or something. Okay? So my vertex is negative 1, negative 3. Not negative 3, negative 1, because the y coordinate is negative 3. Y is negative 3. That means the x1 is the negative 1. So it's negative 1, negative 3, not negative 3, negative 1. So don't make that mistake. Be careful with that. And the axis of symmetry is just the equation that you got here, y equals negative 3, which you wrote down. Then check some points on the graph by plugging in the coordinates into the equation. Like you might check this point here. This is what? This is x is 1, y is negative 2. Put in negative 2 in here and see if you get 1. So negative 2 plus 3 is 1, squared is 1, times 2 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. That checks out. Right? So if I have the vertex, if I put in the vertex, negative 1, negative 3, so negative 3 is y, so that gives me 0, minus 1 is minus, so x is minus 1, right? Minus 1 is, 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Okay? So don't be foolish. Try these points and actually plug them in and see if they work, to see if you made a mistake.